Good, good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, for those that don't know, this is Chris Jones, and why don't you tell everybody about your company, where what you guys do, that sort of thing.
Sure. So yeah, as you said, my name is Chris Jones. I'm the general manager of Hunter Douglas Ceilings and Walls, exclusively by CertainTeed, and we create metal and felt ceilings and walls by working closely with architects, with designers, and contractors. We're a local Georgia company. We provide services to the architectural community with our. We have a close collaboration with our design and engineering, project management, and estimating teams. We also have teams that support our manufacturing and supply of our products to job sites. Our customers trust us to work with them on important projects like airports and stadiums, healthcare and educational facilities, and offices.
Okay, awesome, awesome. We really appreciate your time, coming out and chatting with us a little bit. Um, Tell me about, well, first of all, tell me, because you're a local business, but you're not a small business. How many folks do you guys have?
Yeah, so we're part of CertainTeed, which is a big company. So we're a small business inside of a big company.
Yeah.
And we're located here in Georgia. We've got around 100 people here
Okay.
in our facility in Georgia.
Awesome, awesome. So talk to me about what it was like. We first got the message in March that we had to change really the way we work and everything. Talk to me about how you were prepared for that. Was it would just everybody go work from home and we're all set up for that, or were there changes you had to make?
Sure, so through all of this, our number one priority was the health and safety of our people, and then followed by our commitment to our customers. So trying to balance those two things was tricky. On the manufacturing side, we had to do a number of things, obviously following the guidance from the government and to make sure that we were in compliance. So we have been able to continue to operate throughout this crisis, and we did that through social distancing measures, a number of cleaning regimens that we instituted. We worked with a lot of people inside of as you mentioned, we're part of a bigger company. So there we could get help from other businesses that were struggling with some of the same challenges. So there was a lot of teams inside of CertainTeed and Saint-Gobain that were helping us with how we could continue to operate. And so we put together a number of practices that helped us. We did things like bring in lunches for our plant employees for the past couple of months so they didn't have to go out and get exposed and then bring that back into the plant. We've really focused on safety there, and fortunately, we've had no incidents of anyone having COVID-19. So we're very happy about that. To be honest, that was one thing that I lost sleep over, as I couldn't imagine getting one of our people getting sick.
Yeah.
And then on the office side, because we have our design team and engineering teams, project management teams, estimating, we were not accustomed to working from home. And the reason is what we would do is we would solve customer problems by getting in a conference room and trying to figure it all out. And so now we've had to figure out how to do that remotely, and it's still a journey, but we've instituted some new technology. We're figuring out as we start to get into the return to work and remaining socially distant, how are we going to continue to operate? But yeah, we've had to change our entire business.
Oh, wow. Wow. Have you found things that you think you may take forward from that? Have you found things that you're like, oh gosh, that works really well. I think we may try that when we go back, because now that we are sort of at a point where we're talking about reintegrating the workforce, at least partially, those are things that are coming up. How are you guys handling that? And again, what do you think you might take forward from this experience?
No, it's a great question. So, one of the things that we've had to figure out is with, especially trying to keep up with job site closures and those kinds of things and reopening, it's caused us to continually be more agile. So as we've instituted new policies to support our customers and new ways that we make sure that we're getting things out to our customers in a timely manner so that product doesn't get stranded along the way. There's a lot of those things that we can continue, and we think actually coming out of this, we're going to be in a position to support our customers even better, from reduced lead times and just having a better process for getting our products out. And then in terms of working, we're figuring out, maybe we can use technology in a new way. We're looking at our office layout and how we can design for better workflows. In particular, if we get into a situation where we have people working from home sometimes and coming into the office when necessary. So yeah, all of those things we're looking at, and we certainly don't have it all figured out. And we're looking for help in terms of our how we would lay out our office space. And so we've got our design team working on that now.
We're in a really similar situation. I think you had mentioned you were talking about only returning with a small percentage of the workforce to start with, and we're in the same position, having to figure out, okay, how do we change our space? How do we keep people safe? And I think that, it's interesting. This has been, as distant as we have been from each other and sort of cut off physically, it's been a very humanizing time. It's been a time that I actually feel closer to some people and stuff. How have you experienced that on your end?
No, you're right. So we're using new technology to do video calls, and so it's not uncommon for someone to see their kids in the background, or a cat jumping on the screen, or a dog licking someone's face in the middle of a discussion, and that's okay. And so I think we're adapting to I think it's part of it is just giving permission to people to be able to be human and to invite people into their homes, because that's something new. Is we're now meeting with people and we can see into their living room or their kitchen table. And so that's, I think we're having to adapt to that and just realize that that's a natural and normal thing. For sure, it is very humanizing.
Do you think that's gonna change when we go back to work? I mean, or go back to work in the more traditional sense, or do you think in general that we're gonna have to figure out this new normal, because now that people have experienced it and people have experienced being productive in this environment, do you think that's going to have an impact going forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. I think it's we look at a lot of information and data and analysts, and so there's a lot out there for sure. It's hard to speculate on what the future will look like. Mm-hmm. I would say that we want to be prepared to continue to support our employees. Make sure they're safe. That's the most important. Make sure they're healthy and safe, and then how are we going to better support our customers? And in this new environment, we've done things like we did a virtual mock-up. So that was the first time we've done that. We actually built a full-scale mock-up in our mock-up facility, and we did that virtually. So that's something that was new to us, and we invited a bunch of the design team to join us for that mock-up, and we did close-ups with a phone. And those are the kind of things that we've got to continually innovate so that we can support our customers better.
That's fantastic. I didn't know that you I didn't know that you did a mock-up like that. That's really, really interesting. So returning to work specifically, what are you having to do to make sure? I mean, have you already implemented those things to keep your I guess to keep your plant running and stuff? But what specifically are you having to do to make sure that people stay safe when they come back?
So we're just starting down that process. We wanted to be cautious about bringing people in too early. So in state of Georgia, we wanted to wait as the restrictions started to relax. We didn't want to bring back people too quickly. So we'll start to bring them back. We're going to have a maximum percentage of our workforce in the office at one time, and we have a station when people come in to make sure that if they don't have a mask, they have it. They have a sanitizing station. It's really, if you think about it, for the office workers who haven't been like our plant workers, where they've continued to operate socially distant, these are people who've been confined to their homes. So this is a new world for them. And so a lot of what we're focused on is educating on how to act around other people in this new environment. So we're focusing right now on educating. We've got some support from some of our corporate teams on how to stay socially distant, how to protect themselves, how to make sure that they're exercising good hygiene. So that's really kind of what we're focused on at this point.
Gosh, that's great. I have a little side gig. I work at the YMCA. I teach spin, and we've been talking about how to go back to work. How are we going to reopen those YMCA's and things like that. And I mean, the things that they're doing, from touchless check-in, but every time you come in, we have to have temperature checks, and I mean, it is really, really no joke. I was at Piedmont Hospital, I guess, I don't know, about a week or so ago. I had to go in for something routine, and at every time where you could branch off and go down a hallway, they had temperature check stations, and you got a little dot on your, they gave you a little sticker, and you got a little dot for every one that you passed through. And if you didn't have the right color dot, you didn't go anywhere. So it's been a really interesting time seeing how different people are.
And we're fortunate. We're quite frankly, I'm very thankful that we have not had any incidents of people getting sick, whether it be from our office staff or our manufacturing teams. And that to me is, that's probably our number one priority. So we're thankful for that.
Well, I mean, it just goes to show that what you're doing is working. It's fantastic. It's really fantastic, the investment that you're making, and how much care you're taking with your employees. Because I've heard over the years more and more, some people feel like they're just a number at their work, and nobody's paying attention. But this seems to have really brought out the care and appreciation from company to employee, and the reverse of that, I would imagine. So,
and the same goes. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, and the same for our customers. The initial, when we did that mock-up, it wasn't just, it was obviously to protect our employees, but we also this was early on when this was first happening, and so we reached out to our customers and wanted to make sure that they felt comfortable and safe. And so that's where we ended up doing that virtual mock-up, was really to protect our employees and our customers. But now that we've done it, we're like, hey, this is something that we can maybe offer to more customers.
Yeah, it would be great. All right, we're about out of time. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, have a great day.
Take care.